we start with an intention. Right before we started recording, before we went on live to Facebook, I said, oh, this is my intention, which really has to do with the environment, with creating love and reality and being of service to the greatest number of people. We want to love all, serve all, take care of all that we can take care of. And I'd love for you to share, Jessica, why do you come on? Why do you do this? What is your drive, your intention?
My drive and my intention is to just be present, to be. And what I've discovered during these last few sessions with you is, one, the ability to listen and to hear all the inspiring thoughts and wisdom. And two, to listen to other people and what they're going through, and listening to what the messages that you have for them. And then finally, the ability to share what's inspired in my heart that I can then share with other people. So to me, that's been motivating me to be excited. It's exciting. And 2 hours just go by just like that.
2 hours go by so quickly, and it's such a gift we get to give ourselves. I believe because we both see others as extensions of ourselves. We see others as it's funny because if you were to look just at the tips of a finger, right, and not catch the whole hand, and what we are, what everything is energy. It's amazing. And each human, an individual finger on this whole body of possibility, a whole body of energy. It's really beautiful. Here at Miracle Makers, we say over and over again to a human is onto themselves as a bird is to the air, as a fish is to water. You don't know what it's like if you're a fish and what the water is like until you're out of water. You don't know what it's like as a bird until you're covered in oil or not able to be in your pod of birds. Same thing with humans. If you are struggling with dis-ease, discomfort, anything that is challenging, you don't know that it's partly because you've disconnected, or your family, the lineage or your belief system has disconnected you from the energy that is always available for you. In other words, you've lost connection to the source of what lights you up. For a fish, they get all of their nutrients, all of their energy, all of their movement and flow from being in the water. As a human, you get all of your energy connected through your heart. And with that pool of energy in your heart, you can unlock all of the other pools of energy within your system, within your body. What's really beautiful and what's really important with understanding that, the pools of energy that are available in your body, if there is even 1% or 0.0001 ounce of fear in there, it shuts off one of the pool systems, and you are not able to see, feel, think, connect clearly. And that is that energy life forms system, the universe. If you're operating from love, if your reality is bursting with love, your heart is filled with that, and energy of fear comes into your environment, it's so normal. This crazy world that we're living in, all of the challenges, that fear coming in is normal. But if you're plugged in with others, you're plugged in with love, you're plugged in with your sources of energy, the pools of energy, the nervous system, your brain, your all of those fine-tuned connections that are always available, well, then you're able to connect to a possible solution. If you're coming from love, if you're coming from connection, if you're coming from, wow, it's not my fault, everything's going to be okay, then this, and you breathe and you know there's always going to be chaos. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. Jessica, what would you add to that?
Oh my goodness. I was listening to you and I was agreeing with you so much. And just from my own experience, I used to be plugged into the fear, the anxiety, the panic attacks, hitting the chicken little, the world's falling down button. That was me prior to meditation. I was that chicken little hitting that buzzer and then knocking myself out. And out of fear, shutting myself down. And what I was thinking of, yeah, just the 0.0001% of doubt or fear can literally shut down a circuit that can shut down the whole connection from your love, from your true source. And yes, it's true. Like when we're in fear or when we're in doubt, our breath pattern, the way we breathe, the way we bring energy, air into our body and including our brain changes. When we're happy, we breathe more deeply, we're more relaxed, and we allow our body to flow. And when we're in dis-ease, like you were saying, Dr. Larsen, yeah, it tends to happen. And for me, for an example, one of the things that I'm grateful for is over the years of practicing and being able to navigate, oh, this is what it feels like to be fully in love and trust. Oh, this is what it feels like when I don't feel fully loved and trusted, or I feel in dis-ease. And because I'm becoming more and more aware of the feelings, if I find myself in that section of space where there is a fragment of doubt or fear, I can become aware of it quicker and be able to shift over. And one thing that a global humanitarian says all the time, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, who does a lot of humanitarian work all over, is he says, he basically tells people you should never be in doubt or in or have lack of confidence if you know that the whole universe supports you. And basically, if we're true to our heart and soul, and we know that we're moving in our faith and integrity, the whole universe supports us. Like we have the whole universe backing us. So how could we walk in anything less than confidence, love, and joy? And
Oh, that's so beautiful. It's so. Do you have an example from your life that
yeah,
really comes up with this, where there was the before, the middle, and then embodying it?
yes. Well, let's go to something simple as in yesterday. So yesterday was a big day. We're working on a really big project. It could be very life-changing for not just me personally, but also for my team during these times. But also it would be giving organizations that I've worked with, missions that I've been a part of, a bigger platform to really have an impact in the state of California and possibly throughout the US and then internationally. So it's a big deal. Now, of course, with anything, we all had an intention of having our documents together by yesterday. And then, of course, as soon as I had, a packed schedule, it's like, oh, there's a few things to look at. And I'm like, okay, how can I squeeze this in? I do. And then I'm like, okay, I have to pass the baton. Now I'm going to go to my next thing, which is go to the studio and pick and do voice recording for my pilot episode. So I'm driving to the studio and I arrive at the studio and then I find out that my stars that are the bulk of the animation for the voiceover, their car won't start. And I need to go pick them up. And the irony is that I drove right by them on the way to the studio. So then I set my other talent up, and instead of panicking, because there had been a time where I would have panicked and I would have thought, geez, things are going right, is this a sign that I should just give up? And I would hit that panic button, that little that chicken little button, and say the world's going down and nothing's with me and it's so hard. Instead, I didn't say that. I was like, okay, it happens, this happened to me, no worries, I'll just go pick them up. So I go pick them up. We get back. My other talent maybe left 15 minutes ago. We get everybody recorded. I go back home. It's about 12 o'clock at night. And I could say, I'm tired. I haven't eaten. Nothing's working out. And geez Louise. But instead, I'm like, okay, where's the team at? How can I join? How can I support? Let me go feed myself. And I had lettuce wraps that were like the most amazing lettuce wraps last night. Why? Because I was in gratitude and love. And so I was just happy. And then I got on the call with my team, and I was figuring out how I could support them. And I came in just at the right time. They needed me for my section. And I'm like, yeah, this is what I do. And then that energy gives them energy to keep going. And so it's like, not only when we're in love, do we impact our lives, but we also impact the lives of other people. It's energy and it's vibration. And so if you can, for me, and one of my mentors explained this very early on in my career, and he's a reggae artist, and I was his intern, and he said, Jesse, he sat down next to me. I was just about to become his office manager. He goes, Jesse, let me talk to you for a minute. And I'm like, okay, well, what is it? And he goes, okay, so Jesse, if you can imagine that you have your team, your family, your group, and you're in a bubble, and your bubble is quiet and it's still, and you move around there. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. And he goes, okay. He goes, and then maybe one of you goes out of the bubble and then gets mixed up in the static. And then you come in and you bring the static in the bubble. And then all of a sudden, that bubble that was harmonious has static in it. And it's now vibrating in a chaotic way. And I was like, interesting. So that was like one of my first visuals of understanding that we can actually disrupt harmony with our energy or whatever we get into, right? And so it's really important to be mindful. And over the time, I've been able to take that to the next level. And it's not even just like.
And I want to summarize a lot of what you said there. The first, and this is such a beautiful part of it being 100% in love, 100% in the flow energy. Emotions come up, emotions will come up. And you're not a victim to your emotions. Instead, you're riding them with your mind, with your thoughts, with your energy, with your love and your connection into the next form. So I love that. Jessica explained, oh my gosh, I'm working on the biggest project. Dr. Sarah and I are working on the biggest project we've ever worked on thus far. It offers support to the world and something that we're very, very passionate about. How incredible. And you've got all the everyday things that are also incredible, heartfelt, on purpose. Everything you want to do is lined up. And as soon as a month ago, if these challenges would have come up, the response would not have been that connected self.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that I want to share this is it wasn't lengthy. It wasn't in meditation. It wasn't all of this. It's all of the energy that you've ever been, that you'll ever be, that's connected in on purpose. All of the energy that life is throwing at you. Oh, chaos came in. You with your connection to your mom, with your connection to your mom that transitioned, with knowing angels are there, with being able to feel whatever you're feeling. You took the miracle frequency and wrote it to where you were what your intention is everywhere, a beneficial presence to every group that you were part of, that you're the teams that you're building. And how was the studio shoot? How
It
was
it was great. It was great. And there was a moment where I was tempted, I was very tempted to maybe not pay attention to the recording and try to get into the RFP paperwork online because I knew that the team was there. And then I realized, hey, Jessica, we already know this. We already gone through this lesson. Yeah, you might be able to multitask, but by multitasking, you're actually not giving anyone your 100%. And so then you're not giving everyone your best. And so everything suffers. So I decided focus in on the recording because by focusing in on the recording as it's happening, I can help get it done quick because I'm listening. I can tell, oh, that was a good recording. That was a great recording. I like the one in the middle though, really, really. That's the one, but I feel like there's a real great section here and section here that we can right there and it's done. And so I tapped into that hat. I put my director cap on and I directed my team. And sure enough, we got the work done. Everybody felt good about it. And then I got in the car with my 2 stars, drove them home because they were on the way home anyways. Got home earlier than I thought I would. Got healthy food in my body. Got on my computer and helped my team. And the thing is, Dr. Larsen, what I also wanted to share is I had a choice every time I had a choice. I had a choice to struggle or to be in joy and happy and confidence and to support everyone around me with my energy. So it's a choice. We have choices every day to take circumstances outside of our control and to allow it to consume us, or we can see things outside of our control and acknowledge them, but choose to still do our best to remain positive. And it's not always easy. It takes practice, but
it?
every action, every decision, every emotion, it truly is a choice on how we respond.
It's a choice on how we respond. And I'm just going to show this. Darlene, we're going to put your image right here soon enough, right on the other side of this, because you're such an awesome co-host, call-in show with Dr. Sarah and Resilience. This is the newsletter that goes out. How do I decide my reality? And it's breath by breath, moment by moment. And this is so important for you to understand. Mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmental. And so one of the hardest things, to fully recognize for anyone is you might have created scarcity without knowing it. Jessica just said, oh, I wasn't multitasking. I gave my mindfulness, my focus, my reality, my fullest attention. And then, of course, every time that feeling came first, let me be mindful. What does it feel like to be mindful? Then everything from the studio to the project, to the actors, to working into the wee hours of the morning, being fully energized. And so thank you for that incredible share. And thank you for co-facilitating and being here with us. We're so excited.